Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with another Overwatch 2 video. And today, as the title says, the new hero is out. When I can get to him. I think it's pronounced Wu Yang. Feel free to correct me. At the minute, he's basically out in a equivalent of a beta test. Basically, what Overwatch have done for going backward, roughly. They did it with Freya. They did it with Hazard. Pretty sure they also did it with Venture. I think they might have also done it with Lifeweaver, because I think Lifeweaver was before Venture. But they've done it for, they've done it at least since Venture, where they rolled out the hero, the season beforehand. At some point during the season, it's usually the late half of the season, middle sort of late half. I was expecting the middle because it would have made a bit more sense. Hype them up during the middle, but then again, this also makes perfect sense. Drop out the new hero, haven't busted as anything. Guys, when I say I have not messed around with him, I've not tested him, I don't know none of his abilities, nothing. Because literally, all I currently have access to with him for now is just a default, it's basically a default stuff. You'll get a bunch of stuff in like a week and a half. 28th, which is when he gets properly brought into the game. Overwatch have been kind of kindly allowing the players to, as usual, play the hero beforehand. In reality, it's a case of seeing how busted, like how many, like, a case of like nerfs he needs. Personally, from what I've seen, not tested, he might need a nerf. But before we get into all that, we're going to open the loot box and be disappointed because we're not going to get a legendary. My aim is true. I'll take it. Which means within the next 4 legendaries, loot boxes, like legendary loot boxes, I will get a legendary. But before we jump into a couple games and actually test him properly in a couple games, I am just going to take him into the practice range just to mess around with. Training practice range. Normal. Just to sort of mess around with him, see what his abilities are, see how he is. I would also then try and mess around with him when in season 18. So
just go with the flow.
R2 has a projectile blast, which from looks of it is just basically, it looks like he's manipulating water and just using his left hand to guide it, which is kind of cool. And then L1 looks like the equivalent of basically a super jump, and R1 is the equivalent of Surf's R. It literally sends a surf wave. Again, jump. I don't know whether it is directly a jump boost. But he slams his staff down and from actual looks of it, it looks like it's a boost of like speed / jump, and his ultimate, which might be busted. Use on ally, use on self. So that does okay. So because I have okay, so it's perks. I don't know whether he's going to stay as perks, whether he's going to get actual proper ones next season. I say proper ones. Whether you'll keep these or whether you get new ones next season, I don't know. I'm going to presume they're going to stay them. But for L1, you have gain 10 ammo and 33 health resource when rushing towards is activated. So that's L1, so it's a rush-based ability, which most supports have a ability that allows them to get out of danger. Restore stream passive healing increases by 40% for 2 seconds when dealing damage with water absorb. He's basically all, like, his whole thing is controls water. Again, I don't know much about the hero himself. I've not looked none of it up, and let's see what happens. And then for the third ability, the third passive thing, you have Falling Rain or Ebb and Flow. Either Guardian Waves rewinds to hit its starting location, deals 50% damage, deals 50% decreased damage while rewinding. Simulation controls water to absorb, deals 60% decreased damage, and have 24%. Go for that.
Reverse the tide.
So,
Check me out.
actually testing him, he doesn't feel that busted.
Feeling okay?
Ah! Okay, so, and then L2, because I was not going to know that until I got into an actual game, is just heals.
I'll keep you on your feet. What's up, everyone?
R1 sends a thing. So, actually looking at his kit, he doesn't seem that busted. The reason I said he might need a nerf, because I saw this dude, because I did 3 games earlier for my dailies, and this dude was wiping people like no, like granted it could have just been players being good, and getting put in mixed games. I went and had a game that felt kind of easy and won very, not easily, but kind of felt normal, kind of felt a bit easy at points. And then another game with sweats, a widow that basically couldn't miss, which just means they're a sweaty widow. I say sweat, they're a good widow who probably play too much ranked, which isn't nothing to be like. It's one of those things where I've met people who prefer to play ranked. I had 3 people who I used to play this game with. I don't speak to the one on PlayStation much anymore. The other I barely speak to. Basically, one of them is a mate who I know IRL, who I've not spoken on PlayStation for a while, but I speak to kind of often IRL. And the other has not been on Overwatch, properly on Overwatch for a while. So, now that we have tested his, so
Reverse the tide.
So, as usual, you're not going to be able to completely test a hero out in a custom practice range game. You're going to need allies, and in the ideal world, I'd have someone that I could just mess around with in a custom game with. But no, we're not in that ideal world, so I am just going to take it to unranked open 636. So, am I going to guarantee to get to play him? I don't know. I've done 3 games since he's been out, and those were 3 games to like 7:30. It's now 9:20 UK time. I've seen one in every game I've played so far, and I probably will for the next few days. It definitely does feel kind of like having him on your team is going to be useful. And no, but we do need tank. Again, I'm not, like, I don't have the option of being able to leave games just because of the case of not getting to pick him. What I will try and do is try and watch. Is like, try and watch him a bit. Because New Hero definitely does feel like someone that you'd want on your team, but like you'd want on specific occasions. It kind of feels like a counter to Mercy, kind of. Like they both have staff-based healing weapons.
Okay, thanks.
Mercy has the ability to bring people back to life, so you'd only really want one or the other on your team. And don't know who the better support character is because I play Diva that much that I know like what abilities I want and what buttons they are, so I can just like constantly do it. Like I know I want the 75% increase for for mech being destroyed, because going from 175 health from having like compared to like 175 to say 250. What the hell is that Genji skin? I've never seen a Genji skin. I'm gonna double check after this game. Shigaraki Reaper. Okay, the guns do look nice in gold. I've never seen Reaper's mythic weapons in gold. I was not interested in getting them. It's because of the fact that I would have to actually purchase them. And as much as I love I'm gonna say wasting money on video games, it's really not good. Plus, mythic weapons in theory are pretty cool. I'm always gonna more lean to a mythic skin. Like for Genshin, I'm always gonna lean towards getting a new character instead of getting a weapon. Unless it's one of those cases where there's a character I've already got and I'm just missing that weapon. No, I really was not paying much attention to people. But before I do jump into another game. But yeah guys, that was the reason why the Overwatch stream this week was pushed to today. That looks cool. I did not know that existed. All that. Guys, after this game, I will quickly show off the shop. Yeah, you know, I'll go for a control map. It might be slightly better. I don't know how long stream's going to be today. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that, sorry about the fan, but again, it's hot in the UK. But, like, I'm going to try and get through about 3 games, and considering this is the second, it's looking to be more of a shorter, because let's do random from favorites. Let's see what skin we get. Again, I can easily explain this. And I thought it was only happening on Rivals, the fact of getting more people playing tank and support compared to like DPS. Alright, that's strong enough to one-shot, wow. Although they are basically just sort of they're not that strong. Basically guys, whenever a new character comes out in Overwatch, and I feel like most games, like a lot of people have been playing Blade recently on Marvel Rivals. for like until like Tuesday, the 18th. At least I think it's the 18th. 15th tomorrow, 16th Saturday, Sunday the 17th, Monday the 18th. So Monday then. He doesn't have that bad health. 250 is like still pretty decent.
I'm okay.
But like again, this is the first time I'm actually getting to play him in an actual game compared to the practice range. So I'm going to be terrible at him. From basic first glances, I don't know if he is going to completely be a hero that I do end up playing next season. His ability to move and all that lot is really cool. Does he have what I... so that just... So he doesn't... So it's not Life Mercy, so I was wrong. I thought basically by... like he could keep a thing on them and it would like heal them. But you hold a thing on them for like 30 seconds, not like for a few seconds, and they heal over time. But he does definitely feel like a hero that's probably going to get chucked into... You'd want him on your team, but you wouldn't, like, depending on what heroes you've got. Because he does feel like one of those cases where if you want Mercy on your team, you might not want him on your team. But, like, you might want to pick him over something like Mercy. So also, like, in that case, where the hell it is. If I was to pick heroes who I think would work pretty well with him, I'd probably take something like Brigitte and Reinhardt, like, as a defense strat. They can sort of block, he can sort of get a few attacks in while from, like, further away. Sorry, Diva. So yeah, he can get a few attacks in while they need to get up close and personal. It also means you don't need, like, for a defense strategy where you don't necessarily need, you know, something like Soldier and like a Bastion or Soldier and someone else. Go for it, Genji. So, it is nice to have a support option for a more defensive type of game, or when you need to go into defensive or want to play more defensive round, because you're just like defending based stuff. You can have Reinhardt and Brig holding up shields, Brig being able to then also support the rest of the team. I will learn his name eventually. Think it's Yazak? Why? I will double check that after this. Feel free to, again, correct me in the comments. Or chat, even. So it does now feel like you can have, for instance, like an Ashe or a Widow instead of needing, like, or like a Torbjorn or something, or a Reaper instead of having, like, Soldier and, say, Cassidy or Soldier and Bastion. Because this dude can sort of get range shots in. And it does mean that you don't necessarily need to have Anna, because Anna's like one of the only other supports that can get ranged attacks in, I think. Life Weaver might be able to. Like, guys, I want to say I've been playing this game since like technically since like 2016, 2017. I don't remember every hero in this. Like, I was looking at the heroes from an old screenshot earlier, and I was like, wait, hold on. That was who was only in Overwatch 1. And it really did surprise me. That can also multi-heal. The only thing that I think would be nice is if you could range heal. Granted, Baptiste, Moira, then Anna and Kiriko, and Juno are the only ones who really can, and even then, I'd say for a pretty solid like team that can go on offense and defense, D.Va, because she allows you to do both very easily, and D.Va can change battle, and it's really handy. I'd say this dude, I'd then say Kiriko or Juno, because they give you ranged healing, and you 100% would want range healing if you've got the option, if you can have the option. Something I do just need to get used to is the fact of him being a case of not needing to. Because of the amount of hours I've spent playing Mercy, when it comes to sort of like needing to have something equipped to someone, I just need to remember, I just need it for like 2 seconds. Go for that for now. First is behind, guys. So again, I'd have this dude, Kiriko or Juno, range healing. You have like, a full range healing sort of thing with, like, you'd have them two being a range heal, this dude being able to get up and close and range heal. I will then mention an additional tank if you were doing, say, 6v6. Because this dude has a bit of range, but not the most. Annoying thing is, everyone gets in your way when it comes to healing. Yeah, starting to see why everyone's playing him at the minute. He's just not like exhausted. The only real reason why having like, a Mercy on your team compared to him would be the fact of being able to bring someone back. But this dude actually does fully support like your team. Because why like you can just have your you can just sort of quickly heal someone and then get back to like playing trying to like either keep everyone else alive or trying to stay alive yourself, which is something Mercy does struggle with because she can't quick and easy enough to go from healing to defending, which she really doesn't need to. Not all support characters need to be able to be battle ready at instant. So, and it is nice to see more heroes like that. Like, I think Moira is one of the first heroes that we saw that needed to sort of go on, like, get kills and, like, deal damage to heal. Because eventually she'd need to start, like, doing damage. I'm gonna presume Marissa because of that stupid player kill. No, it's me! Ah, for this! Again, guys, he is really fun to play, so if you do get the chance, I 100% recommend playing him. Because he's one, like, personally, when I first saw him, I was like, not going to be my type of hero. Not going to enjoy him, not at all. Because, again, mate Blue Ninja mentioned the fact that he'd be someone who he wanted to play. Now, getting back to this Genji skin. I will say, until I got Cyber Demon, Ice Wraith was my go-to Genji skin. Because those shurikens and blade look nice. I'm presuming Royal Sword was from some sort of battle pass. Well, I will say that sword does look nice, because I know for a fact, and the dagger. I know for a fact I wouldn't have willingly, so I'm presuming it's from like Season 5. Okay. 8-bit, where the hell did that get? Okay, the blades look, the shurikens look cool, the blade kinda does also look pretty cool. Guys, when I say, at this point, I basically don't check the battle pass. Ah, this is funny. Guys, like literally, I'll scroll all the way to the beginning. Basically, what I do when it comes to almost any battle pass, I'll go, okay, that looks cool. Oh, yeah, that looks cool too. Yeah, I can see that being useful. I kind of want that. I kind of want that too. Oh, and that. Well, so I've got that. I'm gonna need to get that and that. Oh, that skin's really cool. Typically, how it goes. The first couple things, like the first 1 through 3 is sort of like, yeah, they look cool. 4, 5, and 6 are sort of like, well, if I've got them, I need this. And then 7 and 8 are just like, well, I need to complete it now. The fact that I was willing to be like, where the hell did that Genji skin come from? Presuming I didn't have it. No, he's got an audio cable too. What? Again, the shurikens look really, kind of really cool, like the pixely sort of like detailed. To me, it's the blade. Hold on, wait a minute. Why am I getting a Minecraft feel? Like, not from the actual skin. I know it's got to be based on some sort of game, but like, those for me sort of remind me of like Minecraft half slabs. That reminds me of like a Minecraft sort of sword, like the end of it. Guys, please let me know what game that it's based on. I know technically speaking, it probably is an original design by Overwatch, but it's got to be something that's based on. Unless it is just a fact of like the season they've gone for, which is, I can't remember now. I'm going to do one more game, then I'll basically do like a mini little summary on what I think. Damn it. Gonna say I'll jump into arcade. Never mind. But yeah, guys, if you are new around here, please like and subscribe, because this is sort of the chaos that I typically bring. So guys, I more than once question people willingly just instantly going and getting stuff, like Battle Pass wise. And before like because I will double check for the most part. But I think it's got to a point where it's like, must collect all of them, which means I must buy Battle Passes, that I don't even question it anymore. I'm gonna go Freya.
I always deliver. Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
But yeah, guys, I do 100% typically check the Battle Pass to see what skins are on there. It used to be the case of checking to see what mythic was at the end. But ever since it's been a case of it's been changed to then getting the mythic via essentially a currency.
So much company.
Which I like the fact you can get all the mythic skins at some point or another. I wish they would still just chucked it into the thing and then you could essentially get them via that at some other point. I do like you can still get them all at some point. But I'm saying it now, at some point I will randomly turn up and just be like, guys, I've got a problem, and it would just be a case of me showing off, willingly spent, and getting a bunch of gold skins for mythics. Because there's a bunch of gold mythics there's a bunch of gold skins, and I will show after this video which ones I would do. That I'd like, yeah, they look, the gold and black work for a few of them. Characters that I know for a fact I wouldn't use them for, I 100% wouldn't. Like, for instance, why I think Reapers probably would look really cool in black and yellow. I 100% wouldn't, because I don't see myself changing from Chain King anytime soon. And Mercy's why I think potentially might look cool, because I can't remember. I just don't see myself changing from Pink, because to me, why them essentially bringing them both back is potentially it's a debatable, like, whether it was good or bad. It was definitely nice, the fact of, because if you don't know, both Pink and Rose Gold, both those skins for Mercy were essentially bought as a charity-based thing for cancer research. And I believe Overwatch did actually, I know for a fact they did for both, because I remember seeing the thing on Instagram of them being like, we've raised this much and we're so thankful and all that lot. Debatable on a waste. It did clear them.
Need to stay focused.
But yeah, so they basically brought them both back, because at the time there was a few skins that I wanted to get that I was never able to. And I will show them off after this round, which will probably be in about 2 minutes, because we're absolutely getting our asses kicked. That critical health. Enemies revealed when they're low. It's so much more useful. I thought they had, turns out I was wrong. Bad thing, where the hell's our dragon come from? Guys, even if the enemy team doesn't have something like a dragon launcher here, anytime someone does launch an ult and I hear it, like if I hear a nuke, even if it's coming from my own team's diva, like my own team, I'm still like, move out the way, move out the way. Because I'd rather need to move out the way from one of my own allies' ult and have that as a hear an ult move out the way than be like, yeah, it's oh shit, that's an enemy bastion. And that's full on locked onto me. Yeah, I'd rather not get caught in the position of getting fucked because of an ult than something I do need to do, and I've had more than enough time to get better as Freya, is getting better as Freya. Because I love playing Freya, I'm just still a bit I'm getting there. I'm getting to a point where I am starting to get better, but a lot of it does just come down to I just need to improve my aim. Because guys, I don't know why, but in video games, for the most part, my aim is kind of like my aim has never been 100% great. But yeah, so after this round, I will show off the skins that I wanted to get back in Overwatch 1. Because I was eventually able to get them. And
I've got your back. For now, anyway.
yeah, I'm hoping that's not the worst thing in the world. Round is almost over, so... Although, we have stalled for like 3 minutes. So, the fact that we've managed to push them back and hold for about 3 minutes... Because they had, what, 7 minutes something? Just so I don't get checked into another game. But basically, guys, back in Overwatch 1, there were Mercy, D.Va. I will quickly show them off. There was D.Va's 2020 Pack-Rick All-Star skin, which I was kind of playing Overwatch at the time. I don't know how I missed it. Although, I don't know whether that had only come in 2020, or whether it was like 2021 I got it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I originally missed it, and then we got it when it came back out. There was Tracer's 2018 All-Stars Atlantic skin. I think D.Va's might be news when I got hers. I got hers at the same time I got D.Va's when they came back in Overwatch 1. I think it was 2020. Maybe 2021. And then Mercy's 2019 All-Star skin. I originally, granted, it did come with a different weapon. I just can't be asked to unequip the pink weapon that I really wanted to get. And when it came out in Overwatch 1, I didn't hesitate. I got them. Question, like, I was asked about which ones to get, and one of my mates did presume it's like, oh, you're gonna get Reinhardt's, right? It's because like you've played him a bit, and it's like, no, because at the time I started playing, I think I might start playing a bit more D.Va. I like Mercy's, I like Tracer, I like D.Va's, and whether that was the fact of starting me then playing them more. Tracer's the only one who I haven't played that much of, and I did kind of play her a little bit back when I first started, but originally my original main for Overwatch was Pharah. Which is why I do have her gold. I don't play anymore because I'm 100% not, like, I wasn't great as far back then, but I think I'm worse now. Just because of it's been 5-ish years since I've properly tried to play her. Maybe longer. It was like 2017. But then I think I might have started to play her, tried to play her a little bit better back in like 2020. There was those 3 skins, but one other skin that I wanted to get that I was unable to get because of Overwatch 2 was pink. I wanted to get pink because I really liked it as Mercy, and I actually liked the fact that what cause it stood for. Guardian Angel to those who come under her care. Mercy is peerless healer, a brilliant scientist, and the stanch of the peace. So I really wanted to, and I was kind of annoyed that I was like, they're never going to bring them back, never going to get it. Thankfully I have. And it is my Mercy skin I use to this day. Vengeance, I don't hate, I don't love, I don't hate. But I will quickly go over, I'll first also show the shop. You can definitely see there is a pink theme, and yes, I did get the Mercy bundle. One, it's a really cool Mercy skin, and Mercy generally does get really good skins. Now, the reason why I didn't just get all 4 skins, because the only other skin I'd be intrigued in getting, and even then, would be Ashes. Because Wrecking Balls is Wrecking Balls, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. Life Weavers, yeah. Mercy's I think looks cool, and then Ash kind of looks cool, but I think Bob looks a bit too plain and a bit too like a lot of Bob skins. And for a consider the fact that it's currently at 53% off. See guys, Overwatch do this every single time. They'll have the thing in for like 2 weeks, they'll have it as a 53% off and have it as like 4,500 credits, and just have it marked up to like 9,600. Guys, would I say everything in here is worth that? Kind of. Technically speaking, each legendary is worth about 1,000. I think each epic is like 700, I think. Which would make it 3,700. Which would then mean everything else is getting marked up to about 800 point value. Which, overall, I think is probably about accurate. I think it's probably just a tiny bit overpriced. But, like, if you go based on the original value of almost 10,000, that's the equivalent of saying each legendary is, what, 2,500, 3,000? Which I think at one point originally legendaries were like 2,000-3,000 outright, and then when they'd been for a while, that you could get them for cheaper. But I think for the most part, legendaries are like worth like 1,000. I did get the Mercy, so I think it is worth it. Same for the Mega Bundle for Nerf. I don't give a shit about any of them, and this is probably the only one I don't think is overpriced, because you're getting Nerf or Nothing skin for. No, actually, no, maybe it is. You get Nerf or Nothing Cassidy, which is kind of cool. Nerf Big Bad Bow, Nerf Loadout Commander, Nerf N Series Pinpoint, Nerf Slingshot, and Nerf Super Soaker XP100. I think they're potentially worth it. It's really much debatable. The one thing that me and a mate, Lord Riddy in this case, did question was like, all they did was take the Nerf Maverick, because that's the gun that they did use, and extend it. And I was like, no, what they did was take Nerf Maverick, basically just add another cylinder onto it. And then, basically, because they basically added another cylinder and then made the design work around that, because the Nerf Maverick and the Nerf Strong Arm, a lot more people, if you know anything about Nerf, will probably recognize the name Strong Arm a lot more. There was also another one that couldn't spin, but the Maverick and Strong Arm are basically a 6-shot spin barrel sort of thing that can pop out, load six darts into it. You can spin it, shut it back up, and then fire it back and shoot, fire it back and shoot. It was that kind of typical thing. You can still kind of see where the priming rail is supposed to be on this, but because of the fact there's Nerf blasters, they're generally just a tiny bit more bigger, because they kind of need to be. It's basically a smaller version of one. And the reason why it looks like that is if I go and show you almost any one of Cassidy's skins, because Cassidy went from McCree. So it would have been made then Cassidy, who was originally known as McCree, to then get him boosted all the way up to here as Cassidy. So yeah, so comparing it like length, like they've gone for a thing instead of shortening it. Yeah, I think they probably should have shortened it. But again, I get why they couldn't. So, going over then the hero mythics that I would get in a black, if I can, or a different colour. Mythic aspects, is this just going to show both?
I'm the last empress you'll ever cross.
Like, seriously, if I was to click on Tracer, will I see the black colour?
Cheers, Squire. It's time to save the realm.
Where's the black?
Time to save the spirit.
Well, I can see divas. I'm not seeing. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it this way and go through each one. Would I do Genji's? No, because I think it's a bit more of a showboat, and I think in the other color, in the endurance color, it doesn't look too bad, but still looks kind of showboaty.
Olympus is where I say it is.
Zeus, Junker Queen, I do think it looks a lot nicer in gold and black. In either one, I actually think that looks a bit nicer, but again, no. Kiriko, it would mean swapping back to her skin, and I think it looks nice in either. I would consider getting it, but I wouldn't switch back to it, so it'd be one of those ones where if I had spare points, then I would. Sigmas, I'm probably one of the only ones that I think doesn't look as cool. I do definitely think the gold and black looks good, but in all fairness, I kind of prefer the sort of tan look to this. So, Tracer, I'm saying yes for one very simple reason. In either color, she looks cool. I think I probably would go for that because that looks a bit cooler and a bit more shiny. But I do still think the gold and black does still look cooler. I've got her in red and like a red and black and brown sort of color, but the gold and black just gives me what I wanted from the red and black. Like if you swap the gold for red, I'd be like, yep, 100%. But like I like the pattern on the legs from that, so granted I know the normal one doesn't, but like I probably would consider getting both. Anna, I'm gonna say no because I'm not a fan of A7000 because it was during the whole machine sort of uprising season, and I think Anna's is probably one of the more weaker mythics. I 100% think Bastion would have made a lot more sense for that season, and already being an Omnic, or granted I think Grand Beast suits Arisen more, but Hanzo is like the first season where they decided to try and cheapskate more. I do think he looks good in gold and black. I do think he looks good in the purple and like white. Out of principle, I probably never would. Going in order, Arista was when they were like, hold on, yeah, we probably should start giving people more for what they're actually getting. Arista, I do think looks kind of nice in that, and I do think she looks nice in gold and black. But no, I probably wouldn't. Moira, I'm gonna say, yeah, I think she looks nice in either. I do think the gold and black does suit her more, so she probably would be one of the first ones I'd get. Mercy, I like pink way too much. But gold and black would probably be one of the reasons I would switch back to it. Granted, it was during the Mirror Watch season, so it's why it is what it is. What I was expecting was sort of more, when I say anime girl, I do just mean sort of more like that. I wasn't expecting sort of battle warriors, like masks, skull masks a lot. Granted, I do really like it. I do think it's good. It's pretty cool. And if it'd been almost any other season, it would have. And the proof of that is, you swap it with Widows, you swap it with Divas, you swap it with Junos, you get the exact same thing as literal case of what I'm on about when I say that sort of style. And Ashes, yeah, I would 100% get it in either. I'd go gold and black first. Bob looks really cool, and I think Ash does look a bit nicer in gold and black. I'm not the biggest fan of either crown, so I do wish there was an option to essentially have no and just have... I wish you had an option for just like hair. I think I probably will just leave her equipped with the horns. I originally did go for that, but then I think I just changed the dark to the purple because I do just think the gold and black just suits her more, so it's one of those cases where yes, I 100% would. Reaper. I've already said for Reaper, but I will just cover him now. It doesn't look too bad in that. And it does definitely look cooler in the gold and black. Like, that doesn't look too bad. And does definitely look cooler in gold and black. But again, I prefer Chain King, so it would be a waste. Widow.
I aim to captivate.
Yes. 100% yes, and Widow is one that I want to say I 100% do plan to do. I do think she looks nicer in the gold and black, and it probably would be a reason why I would go for like the hat version, because I think that looks a bit nicer. But yeah, I 100% would get Widows. I will then show off in about 30 seconds after I go through the other couple. Reinhardt Thor, and I think that looks really funny and kind of cool. I do think he looks better in gold and black, but again, probably not. Then we had Zen and Juno, and show Zen first because he came out first. And Zen, I think, looks nicer in that. I do think he kind of looks cool in black and yellow, gold and black, but I probably would just go for that. But again, probably wouldn't. And don't get me wrong, I like the red and the red and purple sort of colours I've got for her. I also think that looks really cool. I would go for the gold and black. It 100% would. I prefer that, and I think that looks nice, and I kind of start to think that looks a bit nicer, but it would be one I would consider. Now, a diva. Yes, 100%. I'd go with gold and black, but like easy when I can show them off like this. I like the red. I also think the pink's a bit too much. I also don't mind. I don't mind any other colours. I think that does look really cool. It makes the mech look a bit cool. But I definitely do think the gold and black does look cool. And again, like Juno, why I do like it, I'm starting to think the red is the colour I've already got for it, which I was able to get without paying extra for it. It's just nice. I would personally offer the additional colours as, instead of having one of those, one of the base 3 colours, you have an option for glided or incense. So, going over as through order. No, 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 yes, no, maybe, no, maybe, yes, maybe, yes, no, yes, yes, and no, and yes. So, what do I overall think about the new hero? Wu Yang? I think he's a really cool hero. I 100% gonna like I like the fact he's getting added to the Overwatch roster, and I definitely think he's gonna make a few splashes around, pun intended. I do think he's gonna add a nice, unique twist, and we always need new support. Guys, it seriously says when we've got, what, 12 support, 13 tank, but then like almost 20 DPS. Granted, we had like 10 DPS from like the beginning, because from Overwatch 1 for Overwatch 2, because I'm not going to go as far back as the beginning of Overwatch 1 because I can't fully remember all of them, we had Ashe, Bastion, Cassidy, Echo, Pharah, Mei, Junkrat, Hanzo, Genji, Reaper, Soldier, Sombra, Symmetra, Widow, Tracer, and Torbjorn. We only got Venture, Sojourn, Freya added to the DPS. That's only 3 new DPS to 15, 19. That's 16 DPS at the start of Overwatch. No, 15 DPS at the start of Overwatch 2. And then what we had, Yang, Lifeweaver, Kiriko, Juno, Ilari. That's 5 support. We only had 7 from the beginning. And then for tank, Hazard, Malga, Ramatra, Junker Queen, and then Doomfist. Technically, we started Overwatch 2 with 16 because then Doomfist swapped over. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 new tanks. So that's like 9 tanks that we had. 9 tanks, 7 support. Compared to like 16 DPS. Do I think chucking Doomfist in the tank was a good choice? Yeah, it's grown on me, and I do more see him as a tank now than I do DPS, and it feels weird seeing him in DPS, and I have played games since Overwatch 2 with him in DPS. Every so often they bring back the Overwatch Classic game mode, and he was one of the classics. And by that I mean not Overwatch 1 Pacific, it's back how it was back in like 2016. How it originally was, and it's like, this feels weird. But Wu Yang, I'm pro no for fact I'm butchering his name, and I know a bunch of people are going to be like, why? I think he's a really cool hero. He's disabled in ranked current games, which is why Streamer's Wallet was today. More of a, we're going to test him out, see what we can do. I only got to mess around with him one game, but in that one game alone, I was like, yeah, he's really cool. Could I have specifically tried to get into games where I could have? I wasn't going to waste the time though. I think he's a cool hero, and it's going to be cool having him in next season, and I don't think it's going to make... I think it's going to make a bit of a splash at the beginning, but I do think the season will basically, for ranked-wise, just sort of calm down. Now, going over what I think would be a good team for him, chuck him in with Juno or Kiriko, chuck in Ashe, chuck in Reaper, chuck in D.Va. And then, if you've got a spare, because it's a 6-3-6, chuck in Reinhardt, Ramatra, or Sigma, or Orisa. Sort of a tank that can hold the point, and then a dive tank. I think chuck in D.Va instead of one of those 4, but in particular, at the beginning, it's 5v5. D.Va's a dive tank, and the rest of the team can sort of... Wu Yang can support from a good bit, and sort of cover. Ashe is then cover fire. Reaper can then deal with stuff up close personal, and as someone who mains Reaper, as long as you're good as Reaper, you'll be fine. For the most part. There'll be a few battles that you get into that you will die, and there'll be the odd games that you do die, even if you are good. I'm a pretty decent Reaper main, and I've had games where it's like, how the hell did I lose? I've been put in situations against tanks where it's like, hold on, I'm a tank. I wreck tanks, typically. I've been put in games where I've been wrecked by supports. I've had all of it chucked to me, so... But you learn from experiences. I do definitely think it's going to be cool, and to then chuck him into a defensive unit. Again, Reinhardt, Brig, Wu Yang, Soldier to have that current fire, and then I'm going to say Freya, because you get up closer shots and you still get a good bit of distance. But again, what I have learned from when I was alone in the last few days is I won a game earlier from having 3 support, 3 DPS. I also won a game earlier from having 3 DPS at one point. No, 3 support at one point. 1 no support then changed into then having 3 tank at some point, and only having 1 DPS for that game. My point is, you don't always need a balanced team. I typically prefer it, but I've definitely learned sometimes balance isn't what you think it is. Sometimes it does just depend on... I've had games where I've had balanced teams, got wrecked. Do I like the idea of role queue? I think it's a necessary thing where until open queue starts becoming more balanced, role queue is going to need to exist. Am I happy Marvel Rivals doesn't have it? Yes. Does it prove you don't need it? Yes. It does. Kind of. I do reckon it'll get to a point where Marvel Rivals will probably introduce it, because it'll be a case of we're fed up with people whinging about unbalanced games. Overwatch introduced it during Overwatch 2 for the simple reason of you want a more balanced game where you've got 2 support, 2 DPS, 1 tank, or 2 tank in a 6v6 case now. You've got that option. If you're then going to whinge about it and we ask you how you only open role queue doesn't have this problem, but I only play open queue, you're going to get told tough luck more than likely, and you deserve to get told tough luck. But I do think Wu Yang, or whatever his name is, because I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I'm apologising in advance, is a really cool hero, and I do definitely think he's gonna definitely replace a few supports. As I've mentioned already, when I mentioned over characters that I basically don't play no more, I mentioned Moira and Zan for like characters that I basically won't ever play. In reality, looking at it now, it probably is just Lucio, Liveweaver, and Baptiste. And for tank, it's probably Hazard, Zarya, and Wrecking Ball. And then for DPS, it's Venture, even though I did like her at the beginning. Cassidy. And I'm gonna say May. Those would be 3 characters I basically don't play. From like each like 3 from each. But again, for a reason why I think Wu Yang. Again, I do definitely just need to rehear his name. When I do definitely just need to rewatch his Overwatch, the thing Overwatch put out for him. I personally think he replaces what Moira and Zen do, from the fact of you can be up and close and heal, but then also give cover fire. They both can do it. He kind of just does it a bit better. He doesn't replace Mercy or Lucio because they're already primary healers and already do good jobs. Doesn't replace Lifeweaver because why I find them annoying as anything. When they're good, when Lifeweaver players don't decide to be annoying, or don't seem to be annoying, because I've had games where it's like, are they being annoying, or was my health just low and they've just healed me that quick? I don't think replacing Baptiste and him, I think, will potentially be tied. He's not going to replace Anna because Anna's got the ability to snipe shot. Brig does up and close. Alari's debatable. And then Kiriko and Juno, I think, will sort of stay in the same orbit as him, where they're 3 useful characters. And that you're going to want one or the other on your team. Well, probably both. Same for Mercy. You probably will want one or the two. Because you don't really... Like, you can definitely win games from just 2 secondary supports. You don't really need 2 primary supports. Like, if you've got Mercy, you don't really need a Lucio. Typically. But again, you've got the option of your primary support playing more secondary. Depending on the primary support. And DPS characters who I think he will potentially replace on some spots for teams. Thinking of it as like a case of this is who you're going to want to try and get. For defensive teams, I think he's going to replace the like secondary spot of needing more than one person who can do cover fire. So I think you're not going to want both Cassidy and Soldier on your team. You're not going to want both Ash and Hanzo. You're probably not going to want Anna in that case, because he can then cover... Ash can then cover what Anna can do, he can then cover the healing. And then you can say Chuck Soldier and then have a pretty decent team from it. There are going to be pros and cons to all team layouts. It's just Overwatch is sort of finding what works. But either way, guys, I have rambled for long enough. Something I thought would be about a 45-minute stream turned out to be just over an hour. I'm saying it now. Will there be a stream tomorrow, Saturday? There probably will be a Marvel Rivals stream at some point in the next couple of days. Just because I've been really enjoying playing Marvel Rivals at the minute, so I'm going to make the most of it and try and get a good bit of content from it. It's not the fact I'm not enjoying Overwatch, it's just, to me, Overwatch is always going to be a game I play late at night. Because I like keeping it into a time-specific spot, and it just helps mentality, it just helps, like, remembering when and all that lot, so... But I have really been enjoying Marvel Rivals this season, and... So I'm definitely going to make the most of it, because I know there'll probably become a point where I played a few games in Season 1, a couple games, like 2 games in Season 2. I've 100% beaten my record already. Like, I've played, I think, 4 to 6 games today. Will I play more tonight? Probably not. I probably will just sit and play something simple for a couple of hours before coming off PlayStation. Will I be playing more Overwatch tonight? Probably not. I probably will try and mess around with the new hero a bit, and then basically go and turn around and say from when he was available, what did I think, and all that lot on Tuesday, if I remember. If I don't, someone just remind me on Tuesday, or more specifically when the next do Overwatch, which should be Tuesday, because videos should be back to normal for next week. Which does mean if I do any additional content this week, guys, it is extra content, because the only thing that was going to come out for Saturday, and the reason I say it might be tomorrow or Saturday, is I don't know what's happening tomorrow yet. I've told my mates that if they're doing stuff on Friday nights, so like if they're actually doing game nights Friday nights, to actually drop me a message. Not had a message yet, so I'm going on the presumption of nothing's happening. But I'm also going to go on the presumption of they've probably forgot. Which does mean when I stream tomorrow, if that does turn out this, I end up streaming tomorrow night, it'll be, oh guys, I called it. Drive Scott ended up messaging me asking where I was. And it'll be a simple case of, what did I say last week? And it'd be a simple case of, if you don't message, I'm taking it as you're not there, or nothing's on. And guys, the simple reason why I'm taking it as that is because 2 weeks beforehand, because the week before last, Blue Ninja actually did message saying nothing, like saying there's nothing this week. But the week beforehand, they buggered off to watch Fantastic Four movie. I had fun. I'm pretty sure I did mention this. I had fun saying it's on Disney Plus. I potentially want to say, I keep saying I'm going to watch it. It's something where I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to. But the fact that the MCU plans to reboot after the 6th Avengers movie, I think after that, so in the next few years, I think the Fantastic Four First Steps is going to be part of that reboot. But I don't 100% know what is, and I probably will end up watching it, but it probably won't be for a little while. But either way, guys, this is Tiger signing off. Hope you enjoyed today. If you do get a chance to test the new hero, I 100% recommend doing it, because he's really fun. And he's really unique. Yes, Mercy's got a staff, but he's the only character in this game to use water in any form of shape. May use his ice, which is close, because it technically is still water, just frozen. But he's the only character that sort of manipulates water. Although what I would like to see is a counter to that being fire. I'd love to see a lot more elemental-based heroes getting put into the game. Because something I've been saying, something I think a lot of people have been saying, why can't we have a fire hero that when May puts up her ice wall, they can instantly freeze it? So, it would be cool. I don't know if we ever will, but because for the most part, it's sort of, this is what we can do under what looks realistic. Like, Junkrat's someone who carries bombs, so we can launch them. Genji's got man deflecting skills, so we can deflect and throw shurikens. Mercy has a staff that basically raises the dead. But either way, guys, this is Tiger signing off. Hope you enjoyed. If you are new around here, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!